Chizuk from the Parsha, Lekuvet Paisach Abulayne Letoive. Usually I say it for Torah or a nice thought, but since Paisach everybody has a goodness full of Chizikim and Torahs, you don't need to hear my Torah. I'll give you an amazing gedank, an amazing thought. There's a Talmud of Reb Chaim Volozhin Zatzal in the Nesifim Volozhin Zatzal. He writes in one of the Agudas. I don't remember in which Aguda I saw it, but it's amazing. And he writes that he was one Seder in Volozhin. In one night he was by Reb Chaim, and one night he was by the Netziv. And he writes down how the two were different. Reb Chaim Volozhin came to the Seder, such a Ehrenkeit. He had cups, Kiddush cup, the bechers, were huge cups to make sure it's more than a revis, and the karpas was tiny, the mura was huge, the matzah were thick, burnt. He was extremely careful with every little thing. And finally, when the night was over, he said, wow, there are so many mitzvahs, eseder, reise tonight, and the rabbunon tonight. Who knows if I was mekayim even one the way you should. And a night later, he was by the Netziv. The Netziv came in with a simcha, lebedik. And the Netziv started Kiddush, just regular average cups. Karpas was a bigger piece. More was also regular. And matzah was thin, beautiful thin matzahs, nice matzahs. And after the Seder, he was beaming throughout the entire Seder. And after the Seder, the Netziv said, there are 64 mitzvahs tonight. Baruch Hashem, I was zoiche to be mekayim 64 mitzvahs. We don't understand the avodas Hashem for tzaddikim. We are very, ikvus of the Mashiach. But one thing I do want to tell you. My mother, Oleo Hashulam, passed away Isra Chag of Pesach when I was a 10-year-old boy. The way you are going to make a Seder, this is what you are going to remember. This is what your kids are going to remember forever. And they're going to give this over to the kids. My mother came home from the hospital a few days before Pesach. They sent her home. There was nothing to do. She was very, very sick. She was in huge pain, morphine. But I remember she sat by the side of the light with a smile. She knew her days are very, very few. And she knew another thing. My kids are going to remember how I was sitting by the side in the most difficult time. And I remember it till today. That is why my Seder is lebendig, freilich, listig. There's not a single chimre that justifies Kaas Friday night. There's not a single, not gebrocht, not Kiddush cup turns over. All of this are very nice. Chimres are important. A fork is falling on the floor. Chimres are good. Al titish Torah samecha. But it's not good enough to hit or scream or torture kids, and they should have memories the entire life that they don't want to make a Seder. I spoke this week to somebody that goes away to a hotel for Pesach. I spoke to him. I was in hotels when I had my difficult times. And I told him, there's nothing like home, nothing like being with your own family. He said to me, I'm going home, I'm going away for one reason. If I stay, I have to go either to my father, either to my father-in-law, and they both are monsters at the side of it. It pained me. He says to me, you're telling me al titosh? I'm telling you titosh. This is not what I want my kids to see. Remember, there are 64 mitzvahs tonight at the side of it. Spring for simcha. Do it beaming. The 64 mitzvahs you're doing it with simcha, it doubles itself. It's not 64, it's hundreds of mitzvahs. Do it with simcha. If you do it with atzvus and with kaas, it's worth the whole thing. Have a chag kusha v'samayach. Let's all be besimcha. Yeshua Abu B'Yerushalayim Adniyu.